evening, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Here we go, guys. We are in week 15 of the NFL, and this has been a week. Champions were crowned yesterday in SoCal for the 3C2A state football championship. A champion in high school football in California was crowned. We got a couple Texas battles awaiting and a big Georgia battle waiting to see who will be, or at least who we think will be, the national champions in high school football. NJCAA is getting ready and set. Wednesday is the kickoff. And again, who will it be? Hutchinson or Iowa Western? We got all that good stuff coming on up, as well as, if you weren't thinking we were going to get into that D3, D2 ranks, D3, my gosh, there's always that one game, right, that's a surpriser, but we'll be getting into that, as well as D2 football. Division 2 championship is set and ready to go, as well as the NAIA championship are ready. Both of them are ready, and we'll be talking about both those tonight, giving a quick little preview, also getting ready to give you our full preview on Saturday. Whole season is officially underway, and it started off with a beatdown, man. Boise's going to be joining a bigger conference next year, but I think they'd give a little bit bigger of a fight. Good old Washington, the UW Huskies got it done in very dominating fashion in the LA Bowl yesterday. Celebration Bowl goes into 4 overtimes. What? And yeah, we got some pick'em today coming on up with some bowl games. FCS, that couldn't get any better. We got some fun ones there. And plenty more. A great day in the NFL. The Raiders still stuck, as we know. The Bears, who are these guys? And Commanders and Giants, well, that game was as bad as we thought it would be in a good way. What? We'll talk about all about that in our previews for tonight. Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and this coming Thursday Night Football. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in live to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio. Go directly for all that is sport. Welcome, all you diehard football fans out there. Good day, good evening, good wherever it is your time. It is 4:04 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over here on the West Coast in SoCal. And while we're enjoying the very end of these 4 games, we got Grandpa Rivers just doing his thing right now with the Colts. Very fun game there. As you know, the Niners are, of course, beating the Titans, right? Because the Titans are basically just another form of the Raiders. And of course, meanwhile in the NFC Championship, if you will, the Rams and Lions, we got ourselves a fun one. And of course, last but not least, man, I'm telling you, the Seahawks game is a good one. So we got some fun ones coming up today, or some fun games to go ahead and discuss. Last but not least, Packers and Broncos, another fun one to talk about. So let's get in that chat room. Let's get it going. We got 1 hour, man, to talk all kinds of football. And, well, to help me do that, I got my boy, man, IE Sports Radio Hall of Famer, SoCal Insider here at IE Sports Radio, Set Point host. Amazing game earlier today. Nebraska goes down. That is crazy. So much going on in the world of volleyball. And this man over here will let you know all about it Monday evenings. And, of course, the co-host of 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Teran Rodriguez. Good evening, sir. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, Larry. It's been a wild day in terms of football. I mean, lots of interesting NFL games, and this Rams-Lions game has been pretty darn good as well.
Yeah, like I just said, meanwhile in the NFC Championship, because that's what this game is.
It could be a championship preview. I mean, I wouldn't doubt the Lions.
It's fun.
We'll see.
Been a fun one. We got some characters already here in the chat. Yeah, about the Patriots game we gotta talk about. Shame on you, Patriots, to let him off the hook. And yes, Grandpa Rivers, because that's who it was. that's who's out there slinging touchdowns
Old
right
man
now.
Rivers.
Old man Rivers. You gotta love it, right? He don't care. He's out there having a good old time, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So, all right, Taryn. Well, today, man, we go commercial free. We go full blast, 100%, all gas, no brakes, and we have ourselves some fun. So let's go ahead and get on into today, man. Let's go ahead and recap some of these funny games because, well, they were pretty funny. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm sorry. I always mix up the start of this one. Let's get going with a quick preview or a quick recap of everything that happened yesterday. Obviously, in the high school world, everything going on in the college world, of course, from junior college all the way up to the single A. And then, of course, we will go ahead and get our recap of all this fun stuff as these games are ending right now up here, getting close in the fourth quarter. So we'll keep an eye on those as we go. These last four NFL games before Sunday Night Football, before The Voice, Carrie Underwood sings a little bit later. So, Taryn, let's start things off here in high school football because, oh my gosh, this was crazy. Yeah, Taryn, we you gotta love it, right? You have to. There's no other way to explain how awesome this is, but you deserve it. That's what I gotta say. Carson Palmer, first-year head coach, and guess what? First-year high school champion. Well, he won. He won a few, I'm sure, back in his day, right, Taryn? But I will tell you, this guy right here, amazing. I mean, amazing. What a freaking year! It doesn't get any bigger. Santa Margarita, De La Salle, California State Championship, North versus South, the Open Division, the big one. And here it is, man. Number 5, Santa Margarita dominates number 15, De La Salle, 45-13 to win the CIF Open Division. Destroyed them. State title over with. And here at the top, the Eagles soar high. Carson Palmer, 1 year, 1 state title. What a freaking year for those Eagles.
Yeah. Trent Mosley, USC fans, you better be getting excited because he's coming to USC. I mean, if in case Mekhi Lemon does go off to the NFL, we might have a child of a giant right here. This is going to be massive. But, man, you got to love the amazing story that Carson Palmer and Santa Margarita had. And I'm going to buy me a Carson Palmer USC jersey. I don't care. I made that promise. I said, if Santa Margarita goes on and wins this whole thing, I'm going to buy me a Carson Palmer jersey. And I'll be wearing that Carson Palmer jersey hopefully soon. So I'm going to stay true to my word. And I won't be wearing that USC sweater all the time. Or this Chargers stuff. I'll be wearing the Carson Palmer jersey. No, maybe I'll get it autographed. But that aside, absolutely congratulations to Santa Margarita. Defensive masterclass one last time.
Congratulations, man. These guys got down. It was a very good game, at least for Santa Margarita. De La Salle didn't know what hit them. Just one of those things where, well, they were ready, but they weren't ready. Santa Margarita dominated. They did their thing, Taryn. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and talk about coming on up. We have here, obviously, some more to get into as guess what happened in Texas? Yeah, some fun stuff as per usual. DeSoto freaking, remember the team that we were like, hey, Duncanville, DeSoto, they kind of flip around, Well, guess what, Taryn? South Lake Carroll, number 3 in the country, they fall. DeSoto knocks off South Lake Carroll, number 3 in the nation, 57-44 in a wild Texas 6A D2 semifinal. They punch their ticket to the title game. Down goes South Lake Carroll.
Yeah, DeSoto, I think it's safe to say that they are the giant killers. I think it's safe to say if you're one of the nationally ranked teams, and you're facing DeSoto, then you might want to start praying that DeSoto's on their worst game. So, God, you got to give it up for DeSoto. And that national ranking, they're ranked 64th nationally. They're not going to be the number 1 team in Texas, but they're also going to be the number 1, or not number 1 team in the nation, but they're going to jump up to at least the top 25.
They have to.
Bravo to DeSoto.
Right, congratulations. And obviously, in the other bracket, we had King versus Vandergrift. King wins that one, 58-41. And now in the championship coming up on the 20th next week, we have DeSoto taking on King. Taryn, I don't want to sound like such a jerk, but I'm going to take DeSoto early in this one, and that's my pick.
Yeah, I think DeSoto. It's probably going to be a high-scoring affair, but give me DeSoto early on.
Yeah, and that's the D2. We have the D1, actually, the D1 championship coming on up. We talked about it yesterday. I won, but at what cost? As Teran likes to always bring up the Wario meme. Allen and North Shore, sorry, Allen and Lake Travis both made it to semifinals, but they also were facing Duncanville and North Shore, two giants there. In one in the DFW area, one down in the Houston area. And yeah, Teran, it's exactly what we thought it would be. Duncanville destroys Allen 31-9, and North Shore destroys Lake Travis 28-6. And guess what? Here we go, man. Duncanville, North Shore, a final to remember. Mustangs versus Panthers. They're going head to head on the 20th. We're gonna have ourselves a nice little preview of that game in the D1. The 6A D1 bracket that's going on. And of course, Darren, we got, like I said, Thursday or Tuesday night, number one in the country at the moment, Carrollton, 14-0, takes on number 6 Buford. They're 14-0 as well. Undefeated Georgia powerhouses collide. This is the 6A crown right here. 8 p.m. start time for them, 5 p.m. for us over here on the West Coast. It's safe to say I think the winner of this one will probably end up being the national champion, even though I still believe Bishop Gorman deserves to wear that crown.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Bishop Gorman, you obviously could make an argument because technically they did beat Santa Margarita, and that win is starting to become a little bit better. But Buford definitely has an argument. I think Buford can definitely make an argument for that, and so on and so forth.
I'm just saying, it's who they played or who they didn't play. So I don't know. We're gonna see, but let's see what happens. Let's see how that goes. But we'll talk about all that coming up next week because we'll have all that figured out, at least for the most part, next Saturday and next Sunday. This time, high school football is over, so we should have the national champion at least possible by then, at least who we think it'll be. And then like Monday or Tuesday of next week, like Christmas time, we'll figure out who the actual national champion is. So by Max Preps. So, all right.
And also maybe High School Football of America or CBS Sports.
Yeah, yep, that's true. Both of those will be up there, man. So, all right, Teran. Well, if you don't got anything else on high school football, let's roll on really quick to the 3C2A. Because, Teran, we got to talk about one of the dumbest calls ever made. I'm sorry. You know I was going to say that. I'm sorry. Stop it. I'm angry right now at this. Look, let's give the props first. San Mateo champs again. San Mateo holds off a furious rally to edge out Golden West 28-27 and capture the 2025 3C2A state championship, back-to-back titles, and 3 championships in 4 seasons. Dynasty confirmed, Teran. These guys are a freaking dynasty, and there's no other way around it. They're great. The only problem is trailing what, 21-7 or 28? 28-7 at the freaking start of the fourth quarter. Golden West was getting smacked around, okay, in their own territory. It wasn't their own field, but down here in SoCal. These guys are getting freaking beat down, and they end up tying they end up scoring, getting the ball back, driving like 90-some yards down the field, scoring. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better Cinderella story, right? A comeback. All they had to do was kick the extra point. They had the hot hand. They could have tied the game, went to overtime. College overtime is crazy. I mean, we would have had, at least they would have had a lot of chances. But no, Coach wanted to be cute and go for 2. I get it. You want to win now. But homeboy went for 2. It was a rollout. It was weird. It was like a flood rollout. San Mateo sniffed that out from the very start. Incomplete pass. San Mateo takes a knee and they celebrate there in Costa Mesa. What the hell? I'm sorry, but to me, that was dumb. That was very dumb because I do believe that if they went to overtime, obviously anybody could have won, but I definitely would have said the wrestlers would have won that game, in my opinion. So, Teran, I don't know. Give me your thoughts.
I mean, rollout play when you're trying to win the game. I don't know. Doesn't Golden West have like a good running back? I think his name is like Nick Mitchell or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I look, I think they could have drawn up a better play. I mean, maybe they could have gone Wildcat. Maybe they could have just tried short slant. I mean, this is going to be the hottest debate ever. Kick the extra point, go win in overtime versus win now and don't go overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, but the bottom line is Golden West had no business being down 21 entering the fourth quarter.
No,
And
they
the
didn't.
fact that they even got a final drive is a miracle beyond miracles, just because it looked like after they turned it over on downs, I'm thinking, all right, well, I think San Mateo just has to milk the clock. And Golden West had 0 timeouts, and they had 75 yards to go down the field to try to tie it up or take the lead. They eventually got the touchdown, but they should have, I guess, a rollout is not really the most ideal thing ever. So it is what it is. I mean, congratulations to San Mateo. Golden West, I think, will still be back on the big stage. I mean, there's always a timeshare when it comes to who wins this whole thing on the Southern California side. One year it's RCC. The other is Mount Sac. The other is Golden West of this year. And who knows? Maybe we'll get other emerging programs like Ventura.
Yeah. No, it's true. I feel like it's a revolving door down here in SoCal. Up north, it's always going to be Modesto versus San Mateo, and San Mateo is always going to be the bride, and the bridesmaid's always going to be Modesto. That's what it feels like, Teran. I mean, my gosh, the last 5 years, that's what it's basically been. So it's crazy, man. But yeah. So what do you know? Congratulations again. Dynasty confirmed. Congratulations, San Mateo. Did it. They did great. They had an amazing season, but to me, that's just a really dumb way to end the game. So, all right, moving forward, quick preview here, Teran, for this week. Obviously, we already previewed it yesterday, so if you want more of the preview, you know what to do. Go to yesterday's game, but here it comes, man. It's all for all the marbles, man. Number 1, Hutchinson, 11-0 versus number 2, Iowa Western, 11-1. Perfection versus payback, defense versus pressure, history versus destiny for sure. They played earlier this year, so the rubber match. Hutchinson just eggs these guys out. We talked about it from earlier this year on yesterday's show, and you and I are both taking the Blue Dragons. Teran, are you sticking with that pick?
Yes.
Blue Dragons it is, man. You and I are both picking Hutch because these guys were dominant, man. So let's see what happens Wednesday evening, y'all. It's going to be a really fun game. Check it out, ESPNU. We're both picking the Blue Dragons. Let's see what happens. Can the Reavers get it done? Remember, they shut them out 31-0 2 years ago. So let's see what happens, man. So, all right, moving on here now to some Division III football. Except we're kind of just rolling fast today. Teran, this is crazy. Good old Division III does not disappoint, man. Does not disappoint. I mean, wow. So, starting things off, we had some fun ones, all right? Quarterfinal, Johns Hopkins, Susquehanna. Wow. The Blue Jays controlled this one wire to wire. Just did their thing. 40-10, 418 yards, 285 total plays. They had the ball for 30 minutes and 54 seconds. It was a beatdown, man. Johns Hopkins moves on. How about that?
Yeah, great game right there. Sorry, just looking at this Rams and Lions game.
It's a fun
praying
one.
that the Rams do get the win. But Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins is good. There's no doubt in my mind Johns Hopkins is ridiculously good, and I knew they were going to win. I knew they were going to pull off the win, and no doubt in my mind.
They look good, and they continue to do what they do, man. So next up, John Carroll defeats Barry 21-13. Defense first football, timely offense, and total control late, man, as the Blue Streaks punch their ticket to the D3 semifinal. Check this out, 339 yards. 339. That's incredible, man. Total yards. They had 34 minutes, 55 seconds time possession. These guys played, man. John Carroll is on their way.
John Carroll, I think, is the Cinderella of this whole thing. They took down Mount Union, and now they're off to the semifinals. This is just incredible right here. So that's just a great win right there. They had to win grindy and ugly, but it's better to win grindy and ugly than to not win at all.
No, definitely. I love it. That was a fun game from start to finish, man. So they had to fight for that one, but it was all good, man. They definitely earned themselves that nice victory. So congratulations to those guys. Next up, North Central. They didn't have a problem here. The champs survive a physical battle, but I think they've won this pretty handedly. 35-21, defeating Bethel. The dream season for Bethel falls apart, unfortunately. And, the champs are headed to their I don't know how many freaking titles this is already, but they're headed to another D3 semifinal. behind just dominance in the trenches, man. These guys are amazing. 312 rushing yards. Can you believe that? This team can play some great ball. On goes North Central to yet another semifinal.
Yeah, North Central, look, they're a juggernaut when it comes to Division III football for a reason. And honestly, I just think that nothing's really slowing them down. Now that Mount Union is gone, or now that Mount Union's done for in terms of the tournament, this is North Central's time to shine. But they will be facing a very good John Carroll team. So I would not be surprised if North Central had to sweat this one out.
No, I agree. I totally agree. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun one moving forward when they get there. So next up, last one, number 3, River Falls. They do it, dude. We both pick Wheaton. And guess what? The Wisconsin school pulls through 46-21, 507 total yards, 29 total first downs. The Falcons advance with a relentless offense attack and complete control from start to finish. Down goes Wheaton. Through goes River Falls, and now we have the semifinal all set. Next weekend, John Carroll, North Central, River Falls, Johns Hopkins. Fun stuff, Teran. But real quick before, how about that River Falls game?
Yeah, I just feel that Wheaton just could not keep up with Wisconsin River Falls. I think this was going to be a high-scoring affair, but Wisconsin River Falls did not blink by any means. And the same can be said for Johns Hopkins. They were in a high-scoring affair as well, but they didn't blink by any means. And that's kind of the thing. If you blink first, then it puts you behind the 8-ball. And if you get down more than 2 scores, then it just gets tougher and tougher to come back. I've seen few teams rally back to win. So personally, it's not surprising to see Wheaton lose, but against a high-scoring team like River Falls, you got to be on your A game.
You definitely have to. And, I mean, it's a great... Oh, we saw that at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Teran, well, the Rams find themselves in a little tough territory here at the very end of this game. But all righty, so as we continue on, man, we got ourselves, again, these grinder games are still going on right now. Packers need to find a way to do it now because they are trailing 34-26 with 6:26 to go in the game. This is do or die. They need that dang ball back now. They need to score now. As for the Titans, well, they're losing as per usual, as we thought they would be. But they still put up 24 points in the Niners, which is impressive. So I guess that's some kind of victory, right? Niners, though, leading that one 34-24 here with 2:54 to go in the game. The Panthers and Saints are looking like they're going to overtime, which is crazy. And we just went final. Seahawks defeat Grandpa Rivers.
Seahawks. They really went down and kicked the game-winning field goal.
They did. So down go the Colts, and the Seahawks win this one 18-6 on the at home. So in Lumen Field, fun one there. And then obviously the Rams, the NFC Championship going on right now. The Rams leading the Lions 41-34. But here, actually, no, sorry. Yeah, here they get scored. So
Montgomery just ran it in.
Yeah, so we're having ourselves some fun here at the end of this one, but the end of these games. So we'll keep you posted. All right, Teran, let's keep it going through this D3, man. Actually, no, we're done with D3. So actually, really quick, how about that? How about the semifinal, man? That looks fun. John Carroll, North Central, River Falls, Johns Hopkins. Teran, could you imagine if it was the John Bowl?
That would be pretty funny.
Stag Bowl.
It's one thing to have it for the regular season, but for the championship, that would be pretty funny. Yeah,
that would be awesome. So, all right, Teran. So let's move it on now to Division 2. If I can get my clicker, there we go. Division 2. Here we go. All right, man. Well, here comes another fun one because the Division 2 championship is all set. The semifinals are all done, and Ferris State does what they do. I thought Newberry would fight them a little bit, but silly me, right? Number 1 Ferris State dominates number 4 Newberry, 49-17 to punch his ticket to the Division II National Championship. 29 straight wins. Title defense still alive.
Ferris State is a literal wagon in Division II. This is the team. And I'll give it up to Newberry. They did all they could to try to pull off the win. But, again, you're facing Ferris State. You got to play flawless football, and they just didn't do that. So, a great season for Newberry. I think they have a bright future ahead of them, but this is Ferris State's time to shine.
Totally with you, man. Freaking Ferris State Bulldogs looking for another title. But Harding, let's see if they have anything to say about, because the Bison get it done. They knock off Kutztown 49-27 yesterday. The Bison are headed back to the national championship game for the first time, I think, in the last couple of years. So these guys, man, here they come. The Bison, relentless running attack. And we're going to have ourselves some fun this coming weekend, man. We got the Bison taking on the Bulldogs. We're going to have our preview coming up. But how about the Bison winning that game?
Well, Kutztown had put up 50-plus points in all of their games that they've played. Meanwhile, Harding had put up 30-plus. The thing is, for Harding, they played defense, and they were relentless against Kutztown. And I'll give it to Harding. They really showed up in this game. But my thing is for Kutztown is that I feel this was just like the previous Division III games where they looked into the abyss and they blinked. Whereas Harding, they looked into the abyss and they didn't even flinch. So I think for Harding, this is a well-deserved win. And their offense really showed up. I mean, they really kicked their offense into high gear, and they needed to in a game like that.
No, they did. They definitely did. And this is going to be fun, man. Harding is going to battle. I'll tell you right now, Harding is going to fight the living crap out of Ferris State. So we get ourselves a fun championship coming up this Saturday. On to the NAIA, as we always say, the one that's comparable to Division II in the NCAA. Well, we had we had some fun this past week, man, because Grandview and Benedictine. Wow, what a game. Again, to start the year, we said it, Grandview, Kaiser, Morningside, and Benedictine. The only team that wasn't there in that Final Four was Morningside. The College of Idaho, which we'll talk about coming up next, they were the surprise team this year. But in this game, number 1 Grandview survives a snow-filled war, knocking off number 5 Benedictine 17-10 to punch his ticket to Fort Worth. A 4th down stop in the end zone seals it, man. How about that? The Vikings are 13-0 and headed to the title game once again, back-to-back years.
Well, this is kind of Grandview's MO. I mean, they do anything they possible to win. If they have to win in a high-scoring affair, they'll have their offense let it rip. If they have to win in a defensive affair, then their defense will answer the bell. This is what really good teams do, and Grandview is in the category of really good team, but gave it to Benedictine for hanging around and holding Grandview to only 17 points. It could have been a whole lot worse, but in a game where you have a climate like that, it's just kind of tough to put a lot of points on the board. So it's a tough loss for Benedictine, but hey, they hung tough with Grandview. Nothing to really be sad about.
No, absolutely. That was a great one, man. So I really, really enjoyed that. That was a fun freaking game. And then, of course, on the other side of the ladder, number 2 Kaiser erases a 12-point halftime deficit and storms past number 8 College of Idaho 36-27 to reach the NAIA National Championship yet again. Shea Spencer delivers. The Seahawks are 12-0 and Fort Worth bound for the 4th straight year.
Kaiser's making this a routine for themselves for the NAIA football. Look, that's impressive to really rally back from a deficit like that. And again, give it up to College of Idaho. They did all they could, and I was impressed by how they came out and how their game plan in the first half. It's just that against a good team like Kaiser, you just can never let up on the gas. And no. Kaiser was just that type of team to just keep it going. So Kaiser's been here before. I think that the experience really helped Kaiser beat College of Idaho. And personally, I think that's why Kaiser kind of won, or at least one of the reasons why.
Absolutely, dude. Kaiser is one heck of a team. You knew it. And again, just like we kept on talking about, Teran, like the collision courses. We talked about it we thought it'd be Mount Union and North Central in the D3 again, but it wasn't. We talked all year long about the NJCAA, Hutchinson and Iowa Western, and it was. We low-key kind of threw out maybe Golden West and San Mateo, and it was. So I'm just saying, we knew all year long. We were saying it, yes, Seahawks and the Vikings, and not the NFL ones, because these Seahawks, these Seahawks up here barely beat Grandpa Rivers, and the Vikings are...
we'll be seeing them in prime time.
Yeah, Thor would be ashamed of these Vikings. I'm sorry. Ragnar himself wouldn't want to be on this Vikings team. This Vikings team is not that good. I thought they were really good this year. Anyway, I thought they were going to be good. But anyway, these Grandview Vikings, though, are a team that Ragnar and Thor and all the other Vikings can get behind because these dudes are crazy. But this Seahawk team, well, you might even see Pete Carroll there. I'm just saying, because these Seahawks look good, man, from Kaiser. We're going to have ourselves some fun with that preview coming up this Saturday. Off to the FCS real quick, Teran, because, oh, my gosh, we had another fun deal here. Villanova, Tarleton State, oh, my gosh, defensive poise. Well, obviously, we talked all about what happened on Friday because – well, let's go ahead and talk about that really fast. We talked about it on Friday, but we can't, we got to complete it all. Obviously, we had who was that on Friday? North Dakota State. Actually, not North Dakota State. Oh my gosh. Who won on Friday? Montana. Montana State.
Austin and
Montana.
Montana State, yes.
Montana State. And Montana State obviously won that thing, and they went through, and that was quick and easy for them. Kind of sad to say it that way, but it was. So Montana State found their way. Now, we waited for the other 3 games on Saturday, and well, that's pretty much, what it was. We had ourselves a pretty solid football game here by Villanova. I couldn't believe, I was so sad because I was really pulling for the Texans, but Villanova goes on the road and knocks off Tarleton State 26-21 to punch their ticket to the FCS semifinal. You got to give, man, Jabril Mace, I believe, powers the Wildcats on the ground, and Nova survives in Stephenville. Next up, we had, well, I guess we can talk about that one real quick, man. How about that game?
I think Tarleton was up 14-0, and then Villanova managed to rally back. I think Villanova's starting to become more than just a basketball and volleyball school. They're starting to become a football school, and they're starting to believe. And Villanova, man, even though they've had a little bit of a longer journey than some of the other teams, I think this Villanova team is starting to become the little blue engine that could, and they're making all of their fans believe, and that's just incredible right there. And for them to beat Tarleton State, that's a good team, by the way, so great job to Villanova pulling off that win.
No, congratulations. That was a really fun one, man. And hats off to those guys. They played extremely well. So Villanova, obviously, is looking solid here. Remember that? Who was that? March Madness, like what, 5-6 years ago? The Chris, forgot his name, Davis, something like that. That was Auburn. The kick six.
Yeah, that was Auburn. That was Chris Davis of Auburn with the kick six.
But remember the other guy who remember it was a quick pass and from the 3 and swish, game over. March Madness, Villanova a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, I do remember that, but I don't remember who shot it.
Yeah, but anyway, so Villanova's still doing it, man. They're still getting it done. Okay, next up, we'll make these ones kind of quick. Next up, man, yesterday we finished off the FCS, and Washington Grizzly Stadium, it was rocking, man. This was crazy. This was absolutely nuts. Montana answered. The Grizzlies overwhelmed South Dakota 52-27 behind a monster night from I believe it was Khalil Ayat. I don't butcher his name, and Michael Wortham rolling into the semifinals in dominant fashion. The Grizz they went to town, man.
Yeah, I knew Montana was. I feel Montana's experience kind of helped them win. I mean, South Dakota's a good team, but I think against a veteran-laden team like Montana, they weren't going to be losing by any means. So a great win for Montana, statement win right there. And just like that, the semifinal is going to be Montana State.
Yes. Give me more. Give me more. I love that. That's going to be fun, man. So, okay.
And the other semifinal will be Illinois State Villanova, just like everyone had predicted.
Exactly right. I mean, we were pulling for UC Davis too, man. Illinois State, the Redbirds outlast the Aggies of UC Davis 42-31 in a back and forth quarterfinal thriller as the Redbirds deliver the knockout blow late to keep their championship run alive. This has been a beautiful run. Both teams I wanted to win. I mean, I swear, both these teams deserved it, but what a game.
Yeah, Illinois State is the true Cinderella of the FCS. This has just been a great run by them. Absolute another amazing win. And I was concerned because they had to go all the way out to Davis to play, but the fact that they were able to pull off that win was just incredible. So Illinois State is really starting to make everyone believe. And other than the Chicago Bears, it feels like it's good to have a team from Illinois actually being good at football.
Yeah, seriously. And the Bears, don't look now, they're kind of good, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath with this one. So yeah, semifinals, as you said, man, Illinois, Villanova, just like everyone predicted, right? But on the other side, man, Montana State and Montana. Don't forget, those guys from Bozeman went on over to Missoula and beat them by 31-28 just a few weeks ago in November. Well, is it here we go now? Now we're gonna. I think the game's in Bozeman, actually, right? We're going to Montana State, I think, for this game, if I'm not mistaken. So should be a really good game. I am so excited. The Montana team's going at it yet again. Yes, give me
It's
more.
going to be a bloodbath.
Oh, it is. These two teams love to hate each other, and it's a battle. This will be a freaking battle. So I am excited for that. So all right, Teran, let's go ahead and roll on to the FBS and talk about a few. Actually, you know what? I totally forgot the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah.
The Celebration Bowl. 4 overtimes. 4 freaking overtime. How do you even do that? Like, what the hell? Like, that was crazy, man. 4 overtimes. South Carolina State survives an instant classic, defeating Prairie View A&M 40 to 38 in a 4 overtime thriller to win the 2025 Cricket Celebration Bowl, one of the greatest games in bowl history. How about that?
Well, we're already starting off 0-1 because we both picked Prairie View. But yeah, that was a great and impressive win for South Carolina State. I mean, the fact that they were able to do just that was just unreal and unheard of. So great win for them. And that might be the best bowl game ever. Everyone likes to say that these bowl games are meaningless and there's no true consequence.
No.
But honestly, these games, especially for seniors and for like players moving on or transferring or coaches moving on, this is the one last hurrahs, and I think it's always great to have these bowl games and whatnot.
No,
so
definitely.
Instant classic right there, and that's a great way to kick off bowl game season.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. So, all right, Teran, let's move on now to the FBS and do it. And we're a little bit behind, so it's all good. Rams pulling this thing off right now. By the way, oh my gosh, everyone can exhale over here in Los Angeles on this area. But oh my gosh, what a game there. But all right, Army-Navy game, man. Navy wins 126th meeting in dramatic fashion. Navy exits out Army. Army had this game basically the entire game, and then the Navy just came back 17-16 on a clutch fourth quarter touchdown, locking up the Commander-in-Chief's trophy in Baltimore. Pure tradition, pure tension, pure awesomeness, man. What a game.
Yeah, this one was a really interesting game. I felt like Navy had multiple chances to try to put this game away, and especially the fumbles were just so cringeworthy.
Oh, I
but
know.
It's not a matter of if you win, it's how you win, or it's not a matter of how you win, it's if you win. And Navy, that's a great game right there. Great armed forces game. And personally, Army I think everyone picked against Army. Everyone was saying, oh, Army's not going to win. It's going to be all Navy. Well, Army had other plans, but Navy was just incredible right there. I think this will be interesting for Army going into bowl game season. And then for Navy, they're having the season of their lives. So.
Oh, they are. Navy is just rolling right now. These guys, I love it. I'm so happy for this team. Very, very excited for them. And just another great chapter in this game, man. So Army does it. What a game. And yeah, what we got here, man. I'm making the meme of Field of Dreams with Phillip Rivers and the Colts walk out of the cornfield. Oh, no. Oh, poor team. Poor Grandpa Rivers. It's okay. Old man Rivers is still the man to us. We still like him. Oh, that's awesome. All right, Teran. When we have one more game to talk about here, because bowl season again, I mean, in the FBS, bowl season officially began too. I mean, that's obviously the kickoff was the Celebration Bowl in the FCS, but here we go on to the FBS. Washington dominated, dude. Boise State didn't even look like they didn't belong there. Okay, 38-10 in the LA Bowl, forcing 5 interceptions and pulling away with a massive second quarter surge. Washington beat the brakes off Boise State.
Yeah, this kind of felt like, I don't want to say this in a negative way. It felt like men versus boys. Washington was just more battle tested being in the Big Ten. Look, Boise State had a great story right now. As for starters, Boise State had lost 2 in a row going into at some point, and it looked like the Mountain West Conference Championship game was out of the question. But yeah. Boise State was able to turn it around. This game, however, just felt like the game that just would not end, and it felt like the game that just would never like end for them in terms of like tragedy. And we almost got a thick
Yeah.
6 from Washington. That's how bad it was. And you never know with this Washington team. I mean, Washington's kind of in that tier of they're good enough to be a 500 plus team, but they're not good enough to be a championship contender. And that's not me trying to knock them too much, but yeah.
But it's true. But it's true, Teran. But it's
Their
true.
season next year looks a little promising, and Washington does know how to win on the road, which I can't say the same for last year's team.
No, I'm totally with you. I can't say the same for those guys either. But let's see, man, how Washington and Boise State both do next year. But great stuff there, fun stuff in the FBS kickoff of bowl season, and that was awesome. So, all right, Teran, time to preview a few games. We got some bowl games coming up this week. Let's give a quick little preview, give our picks, and have some fun. So, first up, we have here coming on up the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. Troy 8-5, Jackson State 8-5. This one feels personal. Jacksonville State brings a punishing ground attack led by Cam Cook, while Troy leans on defensive discipline and tempo control. The Gamecocks want to shorten the game. Troy wants to force JSU into uncomfortable third downs. Expect a physical, grinded out bowl game and extremely solid defense. This is going to be a fun game, man. So I think it's going to be a really good one. My official pick, I'm taking Troy.
Yeah, I'm taking Troy as well. I think Troy is a little bit more battle tested. And even though Jacksonville State is good, I just think that Troy will slightly edge this one out.
I agree.
Think Troy checks off the boxes.
I think so too. So, okay, next one, we have the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. Old Dominion 3-9, South Florida 9-3. This is going to be fun in Orlando, Florida. This one is one of the sneaky best matchups of bowl season. You have here South Florida bringing explosiveness behind Bynum Brown, and while Old Dominion plays disciplined, mistake-free football, they have for the most part. So USCF, they're available, or they have an ability to score in chunks. That may be the separator if ODU can't handle the tempo. I don't know. Who are you taking?
Well, I mentioned this yesterday. If Old Dominion did not see Colton Joseph enter the transfer portal, I would have picked Old Dominion. But since Colton Joseph is in the transfer portal, South Florida is going to win this one by 50 flat.
I am with you. 51 for me, Teran.
Yes.
51, Bob. Who's played but yeah, I'm with you, Teran. This is going to be I got to go UCF all day. The 68 Ventures Bowl. It's Louisiana 6-6, Delaware 6-6, and Mobile, Alabama. Fascinating style of a clash of style here. Delaware can throw it with confidence behind Nick Minucci, I believe is how you say his name, while Louisiana wants to establish the run and wear defenses down. So the team that handles the red zone chances better likely to win this one, because this one's going to be, I think, few and far between these red zone chances, man. It's some solid defenses. So should be a fun game. Who are you taking?
You know, I'm going to take Delaware. I think Delaware has what it takes, and I think they're going to shock the world.
Well, let's see if they shock the world, Teran, because I'm taking the Raging Cajuns.
All right, we have a disagreement finally.
We have a disagreement. We got Blue Hens and Raging Cajuns. Let's see. Teran and I love to do that, man. Let's see who wins this one here. All right. Next up, we have the Xbox Bowl. Missouri State, first year on the FBS, by the way, has 7-5. That's pretty freaking good. Arkansas State 6-6. Turnovers will define this game. That is for sure. Arkansas State can stretch the field, but has been inconsistent, while Missouri State plays with balance and patience. If Missouri State controls the pace, I think they'll dictate the outcome, which gives you my winner. I'm going to go Missouri State. How about you?
Yeah, I think Missouri State gets this job done. The fact that they've had a great year, solid first year in the FBS is a great story. I think they complete the story with this win over Arkansas State.
I think so too. This should be fun. So good game here. Next up, we have the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Kennesaw State 10-3. What a year they had, man. And Western Michigan 9-4. What a year they had too. They haven't had a year like that since the Cotton Bowl years ago. So one of the best storylines of bowl season. Kennesaw State went from 2 freaking wins to 10, powered by Amari Odom, and while Western Michigan thrives on physical rushing and defensive pressure, this one feels like a fourth quarter decision game. We saw Kennesaw State do their thing. They won themselves a conference title again, they completely turned it around. Teran, who you taking?
I'm taking Kennesaw State. I think they complete the story with this bowl game win.
I'm with you on that. I think to me, there's no other way. They got to get this one done. The Gasparilla Bowl, Memphis at 8-4, NC State at 7-5, and Tampa, Florida. NC State brings defensive toughness and ball control, while Memphis counters with speed and perimeter making. If the Wolfpack can slow Memphis early, they'll keep this one in the comfort zone. But I don't know. Those uniforms are pretty cool, man. I love those cool uniforms of Memphis. I'm just saying, I don't know, Turn, who you got?
Larry, I'm sorry I got to do this to you, but I'm going to pick NC State. I think NC State gets the job done being battle-tested from the ACC.
You know, as much as I want to pick those really cool uniforms, I got to go NC State too.
Really? I thought you were going to pick Memphis.
I thought I was too, but I don't know, man. The Wolfpack they just seem like a better team. I don't know why, but maybe I should go back and get Memphis. I don't know. This was a hard one for me, man. I think I just go with.
This is one of those 50-50 bowls.
It really is, but there's something just poking at me for NC State, man. I don't know what it is. So give me NC State. I don't want to. I feel bad for not taking the Tigers, man, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like NC State has this one. I don't know why. It just feels like that. So I'm going to pick those guys. So, alrighty, here we go. We have, and of course, we have the college football playoff first round game coming on up here, and that'll be the last before we get on to the games for Saturday when we preview those ones. But number 9, Alabama, 10-3. Number 8, Oklahoma, 10-2. This is the closest game, I think, of this round. This is the playoff football in every sense. Alabama brings experience, depth, and defensive pressure, while Oklahoma thrives on explosiveness and a home field energy. Expect tension, big moments, and the game decider in the fourth quarter. I truly believe that. So who you got?
Oh, man, this one is a good one. It's round 2 between these two teams. If you remember, Oklahoma wound up winning the first meeting between Alabama. Man.
I know.
Alabama got to the SEC championship game, but they just laid such an egg. But Oklahoma, they're just a little inconsistent for my liking as well.
You
know what? I'm going to take Alabama.
The Crimson Tide.
I know I picked Alabama last week and I paid for it. This time, I think they get their revenge. I think this time, since Georgia got their lick back against Alabama, I think Alabama gets their lick back against Oklahoma. It'll be close, though. I think Alabama really has to play to their competition, and they have to play to their own level because this is their first playoff appearance without Nick Saban. Let's see what Kalen DeBoer can actually do. He was able to get Washington into the college football playoff. Now let's see what he can do with this Alabama team against Oklahoma in Norman.
That is very true. I was going to say cue the music, but we're not going to get sued for that. But good old Lee Corso, doom, doom, doo, doo, doom, doom, doo, doo. I'm just like, we're always going to play Sweet Home Alabama, Teran, because, I don't know. That's another game. It's like Memphis. I kind of want to pick Oklahoma, but there's something that's just nope, just take Alabama. So it's the same thing. It's kind of against my will, but I'm going to go roll tide roll, man. Let's see what these guys can do over Boomer Sooner. So, all righty then, Teran, we got the NFL here. Ending off our crazy show here tonight. We got some crazy games that were played a little bit ago, and oh my gosh. So let's start things earlier. Jalen Hurts bounces back in a big way. 3 touchdowns through the air as the Eagles dominate the Raiders, as everybody else does. 31-0. Snap their skid in Philly, and, well, they just beat, they beat the world's best JV team. So there you have it, Teran. How about that game?
Yeah. Look, Larry, I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way, but I think this was a get-right game for the Eagles. I mean,
it was.
If they lost this game, then I think the Eagles need to just delete their franchise. But personally, this was a kind of expected. Look, I just feel that the Eagles. Look, the situation that they're in, they just needed something to snap that losing streak, and their remaining schedule is pretty good. Outside of Buffalo, they've got Washington twice, and then they've got Buffalo. I can't imagine the Eagles blowing the opportunity of winning the NFC East. If they lose the NFC East crown, their downfall must be studied.
No, I'm with you. If they lost this game, they need to be like the Chiefs and just be eliminated from the playoffs. I'm sorry, because that was
They need to be.
horrible.
They would have been relegated.
Yeah, big time, because you don't lose that game. So anyway, Taron, that was a dumpster fire. But that's what
I'm
the
sorry you
Raiders.
had to witness that, Larry.
Well, I've witnessed it for my whole life, so it's all right. I can witness another one. Statement winning Chicago. Caleb Williams and DeAndre Swift lead the Bears to a 31-3 rout of the Browns as Chicago improves to 10-4 and stays red hot.
Yeah, Chicago needed this. It was a nice bounce back win after last week's debacle against Green Bay. Look, long story short, Chicago is pretty good. I just feel that they didn't really prove a whole lot against Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland's got a good defense, but the Browns are a freaking clown car. There's no better way of saying it. And looking at Chicago's schedule, they've got the Packers, Niners, and Lions. Now, now it gets tough for them. So hopefully for the Bears' sake, they can find some wins, but that's a lot of tough games that's remaining. So we'll see what Chicago can do.
Not too promising for me, but we'll see. Again, I'm against the Bears right now. Let's see what they can do. I am all, let's go. Prove me wrong. Go to the Super Bowl. Win a ring. Let's see it. Let's see it. So, Rams and Bengals, total domination in the AFC North. The Rams shut out the Bengals. At least the Raiders weren't the only team to get shut out today. The Ravens shut out the Bengals 24-0. Derrick Henry hitting over the 100-yard mark, century mark for this man today, and Baltimore just dominated the entire game. I don't know what else you want to say about that one. Right?
Yeah, this result would have been good for the Ravens a couple weeks ago on Thanksgiving Day, but it feels good to see a good little bounce back game from the Ravens. Derrick Henry finally looked like himself. The defense looked like the defense that we kind of expected, but the Ravens, this keeps their AFC North hopes alive, and also it keeps them in the hunt for the playoffs. But I imagine it's still going to get tough, especially since they've got the Steelers sooner rather than later. They've got the Patriots on prime time. So heaven forbid, they've got Patriots, Packers, Steelers next. That's a tough 3-game slate right there. But you never know with this Ravens team. And I bet you they'll be the biggest fans of Miami tomorrow when the Dolphins play the Steelers.
Oh, they will be. That'll be fun. So, next up, Teran, you're wearing the jersey. Stunning result in Arrowhead. Justin Herbert, man. Wow. Justin Herbert and the Chargers knock off the Chiefs 16-13, ending Kansas City's playoff hopes as Patrick Mahomes exits injured. 10 years, Teran, straight of the Chiefs getting to the playoffs. Today, that streak ends.
Yeah, this was kind of an ugly game right here. Let me just give you some light. Yeah, this was kind of an ugly game for both of these teams. It looked like early on, I was concerned for the Chargers just because it's like you're down 13-3. You might want to actually score. And I was actually concerned that the Chargers weren't going to put up a whole lot of points, but they were able to do so. And this was a definite trap game because this was a short week for the Chargers. Chiefs were fighting for their playoff lives. Chiefs have never been swept by the Chargers with Mahomes at QB until now. The Chargers really put up and shut up, even though it wasn't really the best outing offensively. Their defense really shined, even though there were some big hits, even though I thought there were some dangerous hits. I know the NFL is tough, but honestly, I thought the Chargers play a little dirty defensively, but that's the NFL for you. You got to be tough or get eaten up. So, yeah, the Chargers pulled off the win. They got a little help, and just like that, the Chiefs are out of the postseason.
Wow. Again, Teran, I remember I said it. I do not like being the I called it guy, but oh my gosh, this time, Teran, we lost Teran in the darkness over there. I'm just kidding, but I don't want to say it. I feel terrible for this, but Teran, 8 divisions in 8 days. We can go back to the episode. They were getting figured out. And you know what? It wasn't going to last, and that's what happens. So, really,
and what's
good
worse
game.
is but what's worse is for the Chiefs is that it's now confirmed that the sources are saying that Chiefs Patrick Mahomes suffered a torn ACL and his season will be over. So, and I'll just say this: as a Chargers fan, I thought that should have been a penalty. I think there should have been no
Yeah.
excuse on why. I think it's Deshaun Hand went right to Mahomes. Like I'm even seeing the play right now.
Yeah.
And well, okay, that wasn't the play, but still, I
Yeah.
thought
I've seen the
Deshaun
highlights too.
Hand had a little bit of a continuation, and he got rolled up, and that was pretty much the season right there. And
Oh,
once
yeah.
that injury happened, it was just the Chiefs were done. Now I'm
Yeah.
seeing the play right here.
And you
Yeah,
feel bad.
Deshaun Hand
Yeah.
was chasing him. Mahomes had to throw it away. And I was fearing that flag was going to be on 91 Deshaun Hand, but yeah, he got that ball off. So he got that ball off way after Hand tackled him. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just
you're
looking at the
good.
play again.
But it was a great game. But overall, yeah, you feel bad for Mahomes, man. Hopefully he's all right. Yeah, he was down and rough go. There was some skirmishes all over the field. It was a crazy game. Watching the highlights right now.
Highly
So
emotional game.
highly emotional, man. So all right, Sarah, moving forward. Wow. Buffalo ends the streak in Foxborough. Josh Allen throws for 3 touchdowns as the Bills beat the Patriots 35-31, snapping the New England's 10-game win streak. How about that?
Well, I said the Patriots were due for a loss, and this was another part of what would happen if the Chiefs were to be eliminated. They needed the Chargers. It would have to be a Chargers beating the Chiefs and then the Bills winning. So with this loss, that officially eliminated the Chiefs from playoff contention. But man, what a turnaround from the Bills. Down 21-0. I was thinking, well, it looks like the Patriots are going to reclaim the AFC East. Not so fast, my friend.
No.
The Bills managed to take charge, and they were able to pull off an amazing come from behind win. And this might be the game where it saves Buffalo's season. And not that their season was in any jeopardy, but this is the type of win where even if they don't win the AFC East, they actually could get the 5 seed, and that could be really good because you don't want to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville, I think there's no better team that's playing. And whether it's the Steelers or the Ravens, I don't know if either of those teams will go too far. The Bills have a really good schedule the rest of the way. They've got the Browns next week and then the Jets to close off the regular season. Their only questionable game that can kind of concern the Bills fans are the Eagles, but their remaining schedule is better than the Chargers. Chargers have Cowboys at Dallas, home against the Texans, and at the Broncos.
Which is nuts. I mean, good stuff. This is football. This is December football. You gotta love it, man. So, okay, let's go ahead and keep on rolling through these games, man. We had this was kind of a funny game. Washington finally gets it done. The Commanders snap an 8-game losing streak because they beat another really good JV team today, 29-21 over the Giants at MetLife. I mean, is there much more to say? Toilet bowl.
I'd rather watch paint dry than this abomination. I'm sorry, but there was not much to say. There's not much to say when it comes to this. And you know who the Giants have next week?
Oh, no. Yes.
The new official Super Toilet Bowl.
Yes. It is going to be the worst game ever in the history of
this
football.
Game was bad.
Oh!
Raiders Giants is going to be – you should get a stimulus check. That game needs to be moved to Cartoon Network. It needs to be moved to Nick Jr.
It needs to be moved. Look, I said Comedy Central last time, but yeah,
or the Disney Channel,
Discovery Channel. What the hell's going on here? We need to figure this out. This is football at a whole new level. We need to figure out what's going on here. Bill Nye needs to commentate this one. I don't know. This game's gonna suck. So good stuff there, and as always, man. Okay, next up we have Jets and Jaguars. Historic day for Trevor Lawrence. You just talked about him right now. Lawrence accounts for 6 touchdowns as the Jaguars roll past the Jets 48-20 and keep control of the AFC South.
Yeah, this was just target practice for the Jaguars. And like I said, there's no better team that's playing ball than the Jaguars. I think Jacksonville is on a heater. It looked like ever since they lost that debacle of a game to the Texans, they have now looked, I wouldn't say unstoppable, just they've looked like a whole different team. Even with that, and this is without Travis Hunter. I thought without Travis Hunter, everything would fall apart for Jacksonville, but they have answered the call really well, and they have just looked really good. They've played the part of a contender, especially in a very competitive AFC this year.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's been a good one. I'm telling you, this is that was something. I was excited to see that overall. Looking, oh, excuse me, sorry. The Jaguars are just an exciting team right now. You're right. Nobody wants to play them. These fans have waited a long time for this. So congratulations. Hopefully they keep this going, man. Cardinals and Texans. Houston keeps rolling too. CJ Stroud throws 3 touchdowns, and the Texans win their 6th straight, dominating Arizona 40-20 at Energy Stadium today.
Yeah, this was no doubt Texans were going to win this one. Texans are also on a roll. Look, there's nothing more to say when it comes to Houston. Ever since that win streak that the Texans had with Davis Mills, Houston has been on a heater because now they have CJ Stroud back. Their defense just continues to answer the call. Their offense is looking scary. That's the scary thing about Houston. Like, Texans are a team you don't want to see come playoff time, because whether they win the AFC South or not, their defense might be the best in the league. Their offense is starting to really pick it up. And this win, even though it was against the Cardinals, I mean, it's starting to prove why the Texans are a scary team.
Oh, they are. They're very scary, and they're showing it. They're showing why. So, great game there for the Texans. It's knocking off Arizona, another JV team. Then we just have the game that ended right now. I can't wait to get to this one, man. Big time statement in SoFi Stadium. Matthew Stafford throws for 368 yards. Kylan Williams scores twice, and Puka Nacua erupts for 181 yards as the Rams outlast the Lions 41-34 at home. What a game!
Yeah, this was, well, you kind of said it. This was the NFC Championship game, but this could be an actual preview, and this could have definitely been a trap game for the Rams, just because their next game is against Seattle, which I've been saying a lot, but this was a definite true test for the Rams, and I think the Rams definitely passed. It looked a little ugly at the beginning because Stafford had that interception to Aiden Hutchinson. But, man, Puka Nacua just continues to look like his dominant self. I felt that once the Rams just started to distance themselves, the Lions had to become one-dimensional. And when you become one-dimensional, it pretty much goes downhill from there.
Oh, yeah. No, that's for sure. And this became just, it fell right into the Rams' hands. They played great. Congratulations to those guys, man, because they balled and they made it happen, man. So congratulations on a great win there over the dominant Detroit Lions. Panthers and Saints. This game was horrible. It was a fun one. New Orleans survives. They actually serve at home. Tyler Shutt throws for 272 yards, and Chris Olave finds the end zone as the Saints take down the Panthers 20-17 at the Superdome.
Well, let me just tell you. You ever watch I think it's a documentary called Idiocracy?
Yes.
I don't remember the exact name of the documentary, but it's like it feels like the Panthers are that type of documentary. They just have no answer for the New Orleans Saints. Just when we all thought the Panthers had a chance to win the NFC South because the Bucs were incompetent against the Falcons, Panthers decided to be even more incompetent and lose to the Saints.
Wonderful.
Oh my God. It's
wonderful.
Like this division is like pure comedy.
It really is.
What's worse is that might have been the best chance for the Panthers to get a win, because 2 of their last 3 are against Tampa, and then they've got another game against Seattle, which they obviously have the best offense out there. So, oh man, this was a bad loss for the Panthers, and they still can't beat the Saints. I think they've lost 8 in a row to New Orleans when they're favored.
Isn't this terrible?
Either way, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell is going on here. This is such a bad. These two teams have set the bar for horribleness. I mean, tell you, we've had some toilet bowls this year, man. But good job, Saints and Panthers. Wow, looking at you. Everybody's looking at you right now. I'm pointing and laughing. Wow.
Yeah, and the documentary is called Idiocracy.
Yeah,
it feels like the Carolina Panthers and the entire NFC South is just living in that documentary.
That's exactly what's going on. So San Francisco rolls in Santa Clara. Brock Purdy tosses 3 touchdowns, and the 49ers pull away late to defeat the Titans 37-24, another JV team. Niners keep rolling, and the Titans are trying to figure out who they're going to draft.
Yeah, look, it was cute that the Titans wound up beating the Browns, but against a decent team like the Niners, they weren't going to win. Come on,
No.
this was not going to be a game, in my opinion. So, look, the Niners need this win the worst way. The Titans are pretty much booking their trip to Cancun. Looking at the Niners' remaining schedule, they've got the Colts, the Bears, and the Seahawks. Not the easiest schedule, but certainly a winnable schedule. Like they've got two-time primetime games for sure. They've got a Monday night game, and then they've got a Sunday night game. So this is going to be an interesting stretch for San Francisco. So we'll see what
sure.
the Niners can do. They're not too far off on the Seahawks and Rams trail, but man, don't count out the Niners. If there's a team that another team doesn't want to play, it might be the Niners.
No, that's for sure. And Brian popping in bowl season feels pointless. But yeah, I know I was earlier today, but some of these games feel pointless in the NFL right now. And thank you very much, Glenn. Glenn's getting ready for his team, getting ready to face off right now versus the Cowboys. So, and of course, Teran, we have one more here before we give our previews here. We have Bo Nix throwing for 4 touchdowns, Cortland Sutton going for 100 yards. Denver stays perfect at home as the Broncos defeat the Packers 34-26 to improve to 12-2. Who saw that coming? I know.
Look, Broncos. Well, I knew I should have been I knew this was kind of going to happen just because the Broncos, they have not lost at home this year. It's rather impressive. And now they're all alone in first place in the AFC. They don't have to share it with New England because New England lost. But man, this loss couldn't have come at a bad time if you're Green Bay. Just because, for starters, Toyotathon Jordan Love lost. I thought you were supposed to be the best. But Green Bay has a semi-manageable schedule. They've got the Bears, and then they've got the Ravens and the Vikings. So, in all honesty, even though Chicago does lead the NFC North by a nose, I just feel that Green Bay definitely has a chance. Like, that Bears-Packers game next week is going to be the de facto game. If Chicago wins that, then that puts them in the driver's seat to win the NFC North. If the Packers win that, then I think the Packers definitely have a chance. One thing I will say about the NFC North, I think the Lions are officially out unless Detroit catches fire and Chicago just wilts for some weird reason.
No, good stuff there. You're totally right. So what a year it's been so far. We're down to, this is it. I mean, week 16, 17, 18 coming on up. We got some fun Saturday games coming on up, and bowl season for college football. This is always a great season here on the Christmas season, Christmas lights, cold weather, loving it. So, all right, Teran, let's get into our
one last thing for Packers. Micah Parsons did get hurt, and this is that's tough for the Packers because that's their anchor defensively. So
big time.
If you're the Packers, you got to be holding your breath and hoping that it's nothing too serious.
Oh, that's for dang sure, man. So moving on to our previews for tonight. Let's do it. Sunday Night Football in Dallas. Prescott versus Minnesota. That Minnesota defense with playoff pressure on both sides. Big lights, big stakes. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I know their track record in terms of primetime games haven't been good, but look, they're facing a battered and wounded Minnesota squad. They have too many question marks. The Vikings have too many question marks. I just feel that this is the perfect storm for the Cowboys to win. The Cowboys still have a chance at the playoffs, but everything's going to need to go their way. So I'll take the Cowboys. And even though they're like 1-3-1 in primetime games this year, and you don't want to know who their lone primetime win came against.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because I remember that night. It was a Monday night. I remember. So
you caught on, Larry. I'm sorry.
JV strikes again, Darren. JV strikes again. So the junior varsity, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. I'm telling you, we can make a JV team here, man. Raiders, Titans, the Cardinals can come on over. The Saints for dang sure. We can, I feel like even if you combine the Browns, I feel like if you combine the best of all those teams, they'll still lose. That's horrible. So yeah, I would put the Cowboys too if I could have. Yep. I love our picks league. Keeping teams with their fans. So all right, Darren, and then of course we have here Monday Night Football, speed versus steel in Pittsburgh. Tua and a Kane take on a gritty Steelers squad under the lights. Steelers, I don't know what's going on there. They're the weirdest team in the NFL right now, but perfect Monday night matchup. It really is, because the Dolphins, there's somewhat of a resurrection there. And for the Steelers, I feel like they're weird. They're weird. They're good, but they're not. It's weird. These are two teams that are like, I feel like the Steelers are on the way down, but fighting themselves. And I feel like the Dolphins are on the way up, but also fighting themselves. So I don't know. This is a weird game. I feel like this is a game. This is the first ever Monday Night Football with 4 teams. You have the Dolphins versus themselves, the Steelers versus themselves, and then the Steelers versus the Dolphins. This is, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, this is, yeah, the good and bad Dolphins versus and the good and bad Steelers versus each other. It's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah. Here's the thing about the Dolphins. They still have a realistic shot at the playoffs, but it's so small and minuscule. Here's the thing for the Steelers. They have a chance for the division, and seeing as Baltimore won, they can ill afford a loss here, because you look at Pittsburgh's remaining schedule. They've got the Dolphins tomorrow. They've got the Lions next week in Detroit. They're at Cleveland in week 17, and then week 18, they're home against Baltimore. That Baltimore game could be the de facto matchup. But against Dolphins, no TJ Watt, because he's still recovering from that lung surgery thing and whatnot. But I'll take the Steelers just because I feel they've got more in the tank. I think their defense is still going to be stout. But don't be surprised if Miami does want to play spoiler, because even though the Dolphins have been such a train wreck, they have won 4 straight. What was looking like Mike McDaniel might be canned, I think is now looking like Mike McDaniel might actually be earning another year after what was a train wreck to start.
No, and that is you're totally right. That is a very big possibility. So, okay, we're both going Cowboys tonight. We're both going Steelers tomorrow.
And I'm just going to guarantee it right now. Steelers will find a way to go 9-8.
Somehow,
because that's
some way.
just who the Steelers are. The standard is the standard.
Right? It's just kind of that thing with those guys. And then Thursday Night Football, since we won't see you guys before then, Matthew Stafford, 35 touchdowns on the year. Sam Darnold, Puka Nacua, Jackson Smith-Njigba. This is fun, man. Division lead implications under the lights in Seattle. Don't blink, Terry. You talked about this earlier, man. Thursday Night Football, Rams at Seahawks this week. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is probably going to be the de facto matchup for both the Rams and the Seahawks. Oh, man. Rams-Seahawks. Rams just barely inched out the first meeting, winning by a nose. God. I have to go with Rams. I can't imagine myself not picking the Rams, but here's the thing. Seattle is still playing some darn good football. Even ever since that Rams loss, they've won 4 straight. Even though they've beaten 3 of those wins were against sub 500 teams, and then they just beat a Colts who had Phillip Rivers. But the rest of the way for Seattle gets interesting. They've got the Rams next week, this upcoming week, this Thursday. Then, again, Carolina, and then they're at the 49ers, which could be another de facto game. So, look, I'm going to go with the Rams. The Rams really need to prove themselves, because whoever wins this will not only be the first number 1 in the division, they'll be number 1 in the NFC in general. So this one could definitely go either way. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think Stafford is still playing some darn good ball, even though that Carolina loss was just, I don't know where that came from.
No, I'm totally with you, man. The Rams, I've been calling them the best team in the NFC for a while now, and they're going to prove it. They're going to prove it. That's right. Throw it up. LA. I mean, yeah, these guys, Teran, they're going to do it, man. The Seahawks are good. They're good. Okay. They're a good football team. But I can't go against them right now. I cannot go against the Rams. Seahawks are good. They're good. But damn it, those Rams are solid. To me, it's between them and the Patriots. Today, the Patriots got knocked off, so I feel like the Rams go right back up to number 1 in my power rankings. We're going to have some fun with that later on. I know I usually do that right now, but I didn't get a chance to do it this weekend. So many games and so many championships and everything, man. So there you have it. we are out of here for the week. What a freaking weekend, man. That was fun. Again, lots of fun bowl games coming on up this week, so you're going to want to catch all of those. Yeah, definitely, Glenn. Glenn said it right here, man. Rams.
My brother would approve.
In the NFC. Oh, yeah, agreed. That's right. Big old Rams fan. So, yeah, man, I feel this is a great football team, man. These guys know exactly where they're headed because they're going to keep playing that good. So, the anthem is rocking, man. We got Carrie Underwood, the voice, singing the song, and we're ready to roll, man. The Vikings are in their all purples. You got the Cowboys probably wearing their all whites. I don't know. I didn't see them right now. But I will say, this is going to be a really fun game tonight. Remember, tomorrow, Monday Night Football, of course. Remember, we got bowl games all week long. Remember, Wednesday evening, ESPNU, NJC AA Championship. Yeah, Hutchinson, Iowa Western. That's going to be fun. Tuesday evening is the one I was forgetting right now, the Georgia State Championship. Make sure to check it out on Max Prep so you can subscribe on there for like $6, $7 or whatever. It's going to be fun, man. Yes, right. Carrollton taking on Buford. More than likely, the champion will be the number one in the country. Again, I still disagree that Bishop Gorman is more battle tested. They played more top teams around the country. Regardless, is what it is. Whoever wins it, congratulations. You had a great season. Freaking calamity, chaos, whatever you want to call it in the high school season this year. And there you have it. So, all right, Teran, then we got Thursday Night Football again. Make sure you guys catch that one. And we will see you guys on Saturday morning. We'll be talking about the Alabama-Oklahoma game and plenty more, man. Getting previews for the D2 and NAIA Championship. All kinds of fun. Bowl season continuing full blast. We got more previews for my boy Teran Rodriguez. For me, your boy Larry B. We will see you Saturday morning, bright and early. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.
Peace.
Peace.